Hello everybody, you know me. Okay, no you don't, but you know who I am. I'm Issa J, and it's time for Was It Worth It? WWE Raw. And, bollocks. That's all I'm gonna say is bollocks. Because bollocks and bollocks. You'll understand once we get into it. Oh boy. Alright, let's get straight down to the first, segment. So Kurt Angle comes out and he addresses the crowd like he does, and he's talking about what the main event's gonna be and about the contract signing for the Raw Women's Title Championship match, and that prompts Stephanie McMahon to come out, and she does what Stephanie McMahon does, and it went on too long. And then she mentions Roman Reigns, and his music hits, and he comes out. And he starts whining and complaining, and it goes on for too long. And then Kevin Owens comes in, and he does shake things up, and it actually does. It is entertaining. But then it goes on for too long. And then he puts his arm... Kevin Owens puts his arm on Stephanie McMahon, and she looks at him like, "Don't you dare touch me again." And it's just, why'd you have to add that bit in there? It just makes Kevin look stupid and, well, weak. Kevin did a lot of good stuff here, though. He did try to get a lot of heel heat because he was like, "I actually like Roman. Let's do a chant, thank you, Roman." But at the end of the day, this segment sucked. It was way too long, way too drawn out, didn't make any sense, and it was just poor from start to finish. Ugh, no, it wasn't worth it. Let's move on. Because Kevin puts his arm on Stephanie, she declares a match: Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, and a lot of people like their chemistry. A lot of people like this match. I didn't. I thought it was really slow, really boring. Kevin Owens doing amazing stuff in the ring, throwing his body around, flipping stuff. He was doing great, but he didn't get any real good offense in, like, at all. It was just Roman Reigns, and he was meandering around. He was walking as slow as he can. There was no intensity there. There was nothing, and it was really upsetting. It was way too bloody long. It felt like this was going on way too long, just like the opening segment, and it was just so unfortunate because these two guys are actually good. It's just, what the heck are you doing? Dang it! But I don't know what to say here. I honestly don't know what to say here right now because it was nothing but boring. Kevin Owens was the only reason why any of this was being saved. Because, like I said, Roman Reigns he wasn't into the match. He had too much offense, and he was just meandering around like he was basically acting like Randy Orton, and people don't like Randy Orton matches. Why have Roman Reigns act like someone that people don't like to see in the ring when he's just walking all slow and stuff? It sucked. It really did. No, it wasn't worth it. At the end of the match, Roman Reigns wins via disqualification because Jinder Mahal comes out, lays a beat down, gets him back in the ring. Kevin Owens starts beating him up too. Seth Rollins runs to make the save, and that garners a tag team match. So this segment, like this whole opening bit, is still going on, and we have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens and Jinder Mahal, and this one was actually good because Seth Rollins could save anything. Seth and Kevin from last week proved they're great in the ring together. They have great chemistry, but now it just shows here again. and a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. I will have to say that Jinder performed better than Roman Reigns. Who knew? So basically, towards the end of the match, when they were getting ready for the hot tag, Roman was the one getting the beat down, and tags in Seth Rollins, and one of the coolest finishing sequences in a long time on TV, WWE TV, is when Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens are going back and forth, and they're trying to hit the stomp. They're each trying to hit their finishers. They keep countering, and then finally stomp to Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins wins. At the end of the match, when they're at the ramp, out of nowhere, chair shot, and then Jinder Mahal is just repeatedly taking his aggressions out on Roman Reigns with a chair. He leaves. This match, from start to finish, this was when it was actually worth it. Yes, this was worth it. Finally. It took like 25 minutes just to get to something good. 3 nitpicks though. 3 nitpicks I have to mention. 1, what the heck was up with the weird spots for commercials? 2, why start the match on a commercial? That just takes you out of the build. And this happens a lot on this week's episode of Raw. It sucked. And 3, why did you not go to commercial immediately after the beatdown? Because you see Seth Rollins struggling, and he gets up, and then he helps Roman up, and they're both standing strong after the beatdown. And it was like, well, that was pointless. The visual I just saw was that these two guys are so tough that they can get back up from anything, especially a brutal attack with a steel chair from Jinder Mahal. It just makes Jinder not look strong enough to lay them out instantly, and it was just poor booking. It was just horrible. And that was only the first bit of the show. Oh man, Alright, then we had Sami Zayn come out with Bobby Lashley's sisters. Oh gosh. This was horrible. This was one of the worst things in so long. There's just 3 guys dressed in drag, pretending to be Bobby's sisters. And for some weird reason, Sami Zayn was treating this as real as it could be. No one else was, but he was. He was entertaining, but only him. Like the 3 guys is just like, oh wow, I hope people don't know who you are in the future, because you're not going to have a lasting WWE career. That is definite, or a wrestling career, if people keep bringing this up to you. Bobby Lashley comes out all smiling, and he starts beating him down at the end. And no, it wasn't worth it. I don't even want to get too much into it. I've already rambled on about the first 35 to an hour minutes. I don't want to just keep rambling on, so I'm moving forward. My favorite match of the night, Ember Moon versus Alexa Bliss. And this was so hard for me to choose who I want to win, because I love Alexa Bliss and I love Ember Moon. Yes. Oh, Sami Zayn, no, it wasn't worth it if I didn't already say that. But Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, I love them both. They're fantastic wrestlers. When it comes to mic work, because Alexa Bliss had a little interview before she went out, and yeah, it didn't make exact sense. It didn't make a lot of sense, but she performed it. She presented it perfectly, and because she believed what she was saying, it was easy to buy in. And that's all you need from a good talker, a good promo speaker. Ember Moon was just fantastic in this match. She knew when to sell, how to sell, and when it was time for her to just be all beast mode. One of the coolest spots was when they were outside on the floor, and Alexa Bliss takes Ember Moon's arm and throws her into the barricade. It was obvious that it was Ember Moon jumping into the barricade, but she made it look so good. It was great. It was 100% fantastic. The finish does come with really nice looking eclipse onto Alexa Bliss. Ember Moon gets the win. Not as good of an eclipse taking as, let's say, someone like Mickie James, where she actually did a front flip. But still, Alexa Bliss made it look very powerful, very impactful. Ember Moon gets the win here. And then at the end, you see this visual of Ember Moon like, yes, I'm the winner. And Alexa Bliss sitting down, kind of like what she did with Nia Jax, just holding on to her mid-side and she's frustrated. She's upset. She wanted to win this match and she lost, and she's upset with herself. Mickie James was involved, but she didn't really do much. She tried to, then got kicked out, and then got punched in the face by Ember Moon, so didn't really have to mention her. But yeah, this was a great match. It was a great match. My favorite of the night. And yeah, it was worth it. Alright. I could talk for days about Ember Moon and Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch is in the Money in the Bank match. With my 3 favorites on WWE for the women's division are in that match. Dang it. Anyways, No Way Jose versus Baron Corbin. It was a short match. Baron Corbin won after a deep 6 and then end of days combo, and not real back and forth. It was almost a squash match. It was boring. It wasn't like, when you saw them coming out, you're just like, ugh, this again. And then it happened again. It wasn't so much that it was a bad match. It was just, we've seen it. We didn't want to see it. There's no build to this, and it was boring. It was boring because it was so average. So no, it wasn't worth it. Okay, let's move on to tag team match. This one kind of upset me because of who the B team had to face. It was the B team, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, versus Breezango again. They beat them last week. It was a very fast match. It ended in a minute out of nowhere. The match itself wasn't worth it because it was just too fast. It didn't do anything spectacular, and both of these both teams, the B team and Breezango, can do fantastic work. So why it was just so blah, I will never know. But what was worth it was the celebration after the B team won. They were just going crazy. They jumped onto the announce table. Curtis Axel swimming. Bo Dallas is hugging Corey Graves. They steal Coach's chair, and they just ride the chair all the way down the ramp, and they fall onto each other, and they just celebrate. It was great. That was worth it. And I did like the little selfie promo by Breezango before the match, especially when it was like, oh, your hideous shirts. And they're just like, oh, wait, no. I think the B team's new shirts are actually pretty hot. It's like, yes, I know they're hot. And it's just a white t-shirt with a B scribbled but with marker. It was great stuff. But the match itself wasn't much. So watch the promo, watch the the post-match celebration. But you don't have to really watch the match because it was nothing. Okay, moving forward. Yeah, we got to the contract signing. It's Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax signing a contract. Usually when they have contract signings, someone goes through a table or something happens to the table. The only thing that happened to the table was that it got moved very gingerly by Ronda Rousey out of the way so they could shake hands and have a stare down. And this was boring. This sucked. Holy crud. Stephanie McMahon presided, and she was basically being the Miz, like, ooh, shit, da 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 da, Ronda, ooh, da 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 da, Nia. And it was, oh my gosh, it sucked. It wasn't worth it. It was horrific. I absolutely hated it. I absolutely hated it. There was nothing good about this. Ugh. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. I'm not looking forward to their match at Money in the Bank. I feel like it's gonna suck. Bad. Just like just like this segment. Okay, let's move on. Chad Gable versus Dolph Ziggler. Well, before we talk about the match, let's talk about the backstage segment that happened before this match got announced. Kurt Angle's in the back. He lost his room. So Chad Gable finds him. He's like, "Hey, just wanted to talk to you." "Oh, Chad Gable, I wanted to put you in the qualifying match." "Oh, Kurt, that means so much to me." That's all you're gonna get from that. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre come out, and they're basically like, "Hey, y'all are amateur wrestlers. Anybody could do that, huh? Haha." They're just laughing. Drew McIntyre's looking really intense, like so much bigger than Chad Gable. And then the match of Dolph Ziggler versus Chad Gable is announced. So let's get to the match. It ends in about a few minutes. It happened way too quick. There are a lot of good stuff in the beginning with a lot of grappling, a lot of back and forth, trying to jockey for position. A lot of good stuff. And then out of nowhere, super kick 1, 2, 3. The match is over, and you're just like, wait, what? What happened? What happened to the rest of the match? These guys were showing a lot of good stuff early on, and this had the potential to be a fantastic match. Just it ended way too shortly. A lot of good stuff with Drew McIntyre on the at ringside, but bollocks. And then with a Claymore to put an exclamation point after the match from Drew McIntyre to Chad Gable, Dolph and Drew just walking off to the back, looking pleased. They're still winning. They're still winning, and that's good for their characters, for their it's just, I'm sick and tired of the squash match stuff that they're doing, and I'm sick and tired of these super short matches. And this was another match that started on commercial break, and I feel like there's a couple more that I've missed that started on commercial break. But bollocks, this one. It had the potential of being something great, but just chopped at the knees before it could get there, unfortunately. And I unfortunately have to say, no, it wasn't worth it. It was just too short. They didn't have enough time to do anything. So, sorry, no, it wasn't worth it. And then we had a fatal four-way for the women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, which is stupid because this is the last bit of the women. So they have the last chance qualifying match for next week. That's so annoying. I hate last chance stuff. It's so pointless. It means you've written yourself into a corner, and it's so dumb. I hate it. And they had the perfect opportunity in this match. It was Natalya versus Dana Brooke versus Sarah Logan versus Liv Morgan. Okay, you don't have Ruby Riott because you want to make her an actual singles star. That's fine. But you had a perfect opportunity to have two of the Riott Squad in the Money in the Bank ladder. Who are the heels for the women in this match? Who? Because I'm pretty sure unless you put heels in the match for SmackDown, you don't have any. There's none that are heels right now. All of them are faces except for Alexa Bliss. The single heel. What the heck are you bloody doing? You have to go 4-4 or at least 3-5. Dang it. Natalya wins, making Sarah Logan tap out. No, it wasn't worth it. It sucked. The ending sucked. Especially because Natalya has no business being in it, and her promo or her interview after the match sucked. But let's get to what should have happened, okay? You had Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, two of the Riot Squad, you had this really good imagery of them looking up and just laughing it off. Like, we're not going to turn on each other. That's so stupid. Because Mickie James, Alexa Bliss turned on each other. On SmackDown last week, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville turned on each other. You've had friends turn on each other already. You had the perfect opportunity to have them look up, laugh it off, and it's like, yeah, we're not going to do that, and have them do a double pin on Dana Brooke and Natalya. 1, 2, 3, both members, Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan, are in the Money in the Bank, and you don't have to do the stupid gauntlet match at all because it's pointless. It's either going to be Ruby Riott or it's going to be Sasha Banks. Let's be real. Why? What was the point of that? When you had 2 spots available and you could have given it both to the Riot Squad in this match and totally thrown everything and just, that's good storytelling. That's intriguing. That's fun. But what you did here was stupid and just, You're ruining the Riot Squad after building them up for a whole month. They were doing good stuff, and then you just chop the legs right from under them. Thanks for that, WWE. And it's just like Ruby Riott losing, getting the pin on a triple threat match is okay because of how it happened and the story that was being told and just how it happened out of nowhere. That was fine. But this was horrific. Last week, you have Liv Morgan tap out, and this week you have Sarah Logan tap out. Yeah, thanks. You screwed their momentum. Screw you, WWE, stupid idiots. But yeah, whatever. Let's move on because I'm ranting and it's making me really mad. Okay. And then we had 2 final matches. The penultimate match was Elias versus Bobby Roode, and it was really funny because Michael Cole was like, well, they both have a win on each other. This is like the rubber match. Like, oh, okay, thanks, Michael. Thanks for that, even though technically, Elias has 2 wins, and this is his 3rd win over Bobby because the ref had to call off the other match. But let's move forward. Elias wins with the drift away, which was very nice. And that made me happy because Elias was the right person to win here. He needed the win. And the match was actually really good. A lot of intensity. We actually see Bobby Roode being intense whenever he has the offense in this match, which was great. It was what we need to see from him. Yeah, it was a good match. Yes, it was worth it. I really enjoyed it. And then Braun Strowman versus... Well, when Elias was walking to the back, you hear Braun's music. You would think Elias would be like, oh, drat, Braun, I'm getting out of here. But he's just casually walking and then, bam, just gets taken out by Braun Strowman out of nowhere. Not the worst thing, but... And it was funny, I have to admit that. But it could have been a little bit better. Then we had Braun Strowman versus Finn Balor for the finale. Quick side note, we did see Vince McMahon's memorial happen when Stephanie McMahon took over Kurt Angle's office. That's the word I was trying to say earlier. Whatever. And it was funny, at least, when Finn Balor and Braun Strowman was there. They wanted a match between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, but Stephanie was like, nope, y'all have a match instead. She offered them fruit from the basket. Finn Balor said no. Braun Strowman was like, don't mind if I do. After Stephanie being a little bit Stephanie, Braun takes the apple, crushes it in his hand, and is like, I like competition. Just walks off. That was great. It was Braun Strowman is a beast. He's awesome. And this match was a good David versus Goliath match. And they actually gave Finn Balor a lot more offense on Braun Strowman than you'd think. Braun Strowman does win with a powerbomb and then a running powerbomb. But, and here's the big thing here, which is pretty cool. Usually after Braun Strowman wins, he'll pick him up and do more. But he picks up Finn Balor and he lays him on the top turnbuckle, or he lays him across the turnbuckle, and he does his pose and he walks off. That was actually pretty cool. That was actually pretty cool because it shows a sign of respect and it solidifies Braun Strowman as a babyface because we know he's a babyface. So, after a lot of thought, a lot of consideration on it, yes, this one was worth it. They actually did a good story. But overall, heck no. Too many screwed up story plots, too many mistakes in this episode of Raw. It sucked. It was so hard to get through. A lot of it was boring. A lot of it was just tedious. And a lot of it was just the wrong decision after the wrong decision. Natalya should not be in the Money in the Bank ladder match at all. She should be by Ronda's side and then screwing her over. And the 2 Riot Squad members, both of them, in that one match, even though that's not how it's supposed to happen. But the ref is like, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, they both pinned. They both got the win. Oh, they both win. They're both in. That's what should have happened, but it didn't. And it just, that match just ruined the night for me. And yeah, 2 good matches after, but the night was already ruined. The show was already ruined. The boring opening, the boring match with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, which that should not be said because they're both good. The stupid, horrible, bloody Bobby Lashley sisters thing. No Way Jose and Baron Corbin, and then all these super duper ridiculously short matches after that. It was boring and it sucked. And no, this overall, I cannot say go out of your way to watch this. Just watch Ember Moon versus Alexa Bliss, really. Braun Strowman, Finn Balor. Watch Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, then fast forward all the way to the last 2 matches. That's all you need to see here. That is all you need to see. And that's sad. No, this wasn't worth it. Overall, it sucked. And sorry, but I'm not sorry. Do better, WWE. Holy crud. This was a very long video, and I'm by myself, and it's almost already down to bloody 30 minutes. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just, this one, I had to get a lot off of my chest off of this week. It wasn't fun. But hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give us those sexy, sexy likes. Don't forget to share to all of your friends and enemies. If you like what we do, please subscribe to the channel, and you get a lot more content like this, and a lot more content that is a little bit different. We have a couple new shows in the process, in the back burner that we're working on, so be ready for that. And after you subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that way you're notified when our videos go up and when our live streams go up. We do live streams almost every pay-per-view. Some of them we don't do, but most of them we will. And of course we do live streams for our live podcast, which is every Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So definitely check that out. And it's a lot of fun. And follow me on Twitter at IsaJ_STP. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and until next time, it will be awesome.